We originally moved to Baltimore. Pittsburgh is like right smack dab in the middle, 4 hours between the full drive. And so he's like, if you guys want, you can stay at my house. You can meet my wife and my kid, and I can show you around Pittsburgh for a weekend. And that way you can have a little pit stop. And then two days later, you can finish the drive. So he offered to do that. And we're like, that sounds great. So we actually went and met him in person, which was awesome. Just as personable as he is on the phone and on videos. So he was super hospitable. It was great. Like I said, so yeah, the first instance was even before we really started our contract, was just moving. So he let us, like I said, he offered for us to hang out at his house, meet his family, and show us around where he lived. And it was great. It was awesome. We had a really good time. My name is Cameron Kowalski. I have been a nurse now for about 2.5 years.
I have been a nurse for about 5.5 years.
We had talked to a ton of people about going to DC and like, oh, you'll love it. And we had a million recommendations. And he had reached out to us and was like, hey, my wife and I and Connor will want to all do a DC trip. And this is the dates that we're thinking about going. And
it happened to be the same weekend where we had off of work.
We were looking to do our first trip. Now we've had our son Connor, and he's a little bit older, so we were a little more comfortable with taking him places. So we had talked to Katie and Cam about doing a little short weekend in Washington, D.C. So we spent 3 days. We got to do kind of all the touristy things, got to see like the Washington Monument, got to go to the Capitol building. We got to go to a couple places to eat.
We went up a day early, I think, and kind of explored the city. I've never been, so it was a very eye-opening experience for me, but it was awesome. I mean, there's just not enough time. Like I feel like I need another 2 weeks in order to see everything.
We went to the Air and Space Museum, and we were able to be in like a flight simulator. So that was awesome.
That was wild.
And Cam's a pretty wild plane flyer, I learned.
Pilot. Then we went over to the National Art exhibit.
Art gallery.
Then we went and saw the Capitol. And then I think that was the same day that Nick met up with us. He got into town about mid-afternoon that day. And we did some more exploring with him and his wife and his kid, which was awesome. So a lot of it was, the first day was just kind of sightseeing within DC.
Well, and we did a walk to the National Mall in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was cool.
And we saw the White House at night. So that was awesome.
On that Saturday, Nick took us out to this place that him and his wife loved. That was in Vegas called, that was Jaleo.
Yeah,
Jaleo. It's like a Spanish tapas types. And he treated us to an amazing dinner. It was so good. It was awesome. And I feel like that was we were there for 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
It was an experience.
10-course meal.
Yeah. But yeah, he treated us to that, and it was awesome. It was so nice of him to do so. So that was really nice of him. And then on that Sunday, we actually did the zoo. And their zoo is pretty awesome. They've got a lot to see. They're known for the pandas and stuff like that.
It was cool.
It was cool.
It is the first time I've ever seen
a panda. But it's a really nice zoo, and we spent probably 3.5 hours there, and Connor loved all of that. So spent a lot of time on our feet walking around, but then I feel like that's what a lot of DC is. And we had a great time. It was really nice seeing them, catching up with him. I know he works really hard, so him having a break off of work is a positive as well. So it was a really good trip. We were happy to see him. It was cool to explore a new place with people that they had been there, and I think they actually had worked within DC within their travels. At some point
they work at
another.
National.
Yeah,
it was a really great time to go see a couple travelers, and they got to see Connor again, and it was a lot of fun.
I would definitely envision us doing more stuff with them. I don't see why we wouldn't, especially if we're going to end up driving back that direction. Yeah.
Well, and even throughout our travels, we know that Nick is definitely going to be a constant in a very wild ride.
Yeah, to say the least.